Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another podcast. I'm joined by Benji, Kojo, and Kish. How are you doing, guys?
Oh, good, man. Oh, and how you doing?
Good to have you on this very somber day. Well, it could be worse, isn't it? Obviously, it could always be worse. But as always, drop a like, subscribe, show the boys some love. Their links will be in the description as always. And like I said, every show, Kojo does also have his own podcast, which is absolutely fantastic. So make sure you bloody show him some love as well, because this guy knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, two.
Right.
Make sure.
Yeah, sorry, two. So my cousin's just texted me. I think he might be high. He said Norwich 1, Chelsea 1 to score prediction. I don't know. It must be on something. I'll have to check up on him. What? Because I've mentioned it. What are we saying, boys? Pookie party tonight or what?
Come on.
We'll come to you, Benji. What you saying? Pookie party tonight or what, man? He's longer with you.
No. Chelsea 4-0.
4-0. Okay. That's a positive. Kojo, what do you reckon?
Chelsea 3-1. They'll concede at least one.
Oh, fair enough. And Kish, what about yourself?
Are they at home?
No, I haven't even checked.
Does it matter?
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm just asking, to be fair. But if Chelsea are away, 1-0 to Chelsea, maybe.
Okay, fair enough. I've captained Willian on fantasy football, so that I've taken Bruno off captaincy. That's how confident are they're going to win that 5-6-0. But you never know. Obviously, we've got to talk about Man United. We drew last night 2-2. Yes, it was a draw, not a loss. Although I've said on numerous occasions we lost yesterday because I keep forgetting. We'll come to you first, Kish, because I've not heard your obviously immediate thoughts regarding the game. How are you feeling, and obviously what are your thoughts regarding the result itself?
Obviously disappointed. Definitely, I totally agree with you in the terms of that fact that you said it's a loss. It does feel like a loss.
Yeah.
But if you said to me at the start of the game, would I take a point? Right. Realistically, I probably would have taken a point against Southampton, given the way that they're playing at the moment. Obviously, it's a kick in the teeth because
Benji's not happy with that at all.
But look, you've got to look. I know Southampton aren't, on paper they're not a formidable team, but you've got to look at form, right? They've taken points off City. They've drawn a couple of games against Everton, I think it was. So they're a tough team to come up against. But I think honestly, we only played the game for 25 minutes yesterday. We only woke up really for 25 minutes, and in the second half, we invited them to come and play against us a little bit more than I think we should have. So in regards to the substitution, Pogba for Fred, I think it was a good substitution, but probably 10 minutes too early. I think he should have let the game run for a little bit more. Kicking the teeth, really, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, no. We'll talk about obviously the substitution shortly, and in particular the second half and the way we approach the second half, so to speak. Just want to come back to the first initial comment in terms of, you would have taken a draw. Like I said, quite clearly, Benji doesn't agree with that. I can understand your thought process, to be fair. But Benji, I'll pass it to you. What are your thoughts on that?
On the game?
No, the fact that you would have taken a draw, like, do you think it's 2 points dropped, or do you think, what?
That's 2 points dropped, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, we got popped at home by Southampton. I think people not understand it. It's so annoying. I don't think you understand, yeah. I looked at their lineup this morning, and I thought I was dreaming. It wasn't Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. It was Ward-Prowse and Romeu. Like, let's be serious. Look, cool. Let me be serious here. It's a kick in the teeth. Every Man United fan is angry. Of course, we support, we love our club, but we should have sorted that out, man. And that's the most frustrating thing about it, is that we sat back and we allowed them to come. And I'll come to something else again later. But personally, it feels like a loss. Like I was sitting and watching the game. Yeah, my brother is a Liverpool fan, and you should have seen my face at the end of the game. I just thought it was recording me on Snap, like. And the thing is, 96 minutes, you can't accept a draw, man. I get what you're saying, Southampton on form, but the way we are, we should have been dealing with them easily. But we made everything so complicated for ourselves. I'm not happy with that performance, honestly. Even if we won, I still would have said I'm not happy with the performance. Like, I'm not a flip-floppy guy. You guys know me. Like, I say everything I see.
Yeah, but Benji, I don't think any United fan who's got eyes would just come here and say, "Look, that was a fantastic performance." Like, we're not a Jose Mourinho team anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you mentioned the fact that we got popped off the pitch, etc., etc. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think we did. I thought they just pressed us so well. They forced it. No, but I don't think we did. Like, I wouldn't say that. Okay, they had passes to play that they played. They popped us off the pitch. But how many chances did they create? Did that actually break our defense? They didn't break the lines. I didn't feel threatened though. Yeah, but let me just finish this point, and then obviously you can say what you want. No, under Van Gaal, right? You could say we popped off about 100 teams in the league off the pitch because we kept the ball in areas that we weren't even causing any problems, and that's what Southampton were doing. They didn't cause us any problems. Let's be real. We were the architects of our own downfall. The first goal is our mistake. Obviously, we'll get on to the second goal and whose fault that is. But they outplayed us tactically, and that's where Oli fucked up. And but at the same time, that starting 11 is our best team by country mile. I don't think anyone was questioning it. The players are responsible for that performance at the end of the day. For me.
Yeah, they are. I agree with that. But one thing I would say about the popping of the park, I was already angry. Then they threw up that stat. You know when they split the pitch in three? Yeah. You know when they split the pitch in three? And they do the percentage rubbish. And they're like, oh, Southampton's having it. Look, Ward-Prowse is a free kick specialist. He should not be touching the ball more than Pogba and popping off the ball like that. No way. How? Look. Nathan Redmond was coming off the channel. Ings was dropping in behind. Shea Adams was right. We were getting popped. I'm telling you. I'm not even trying to play. We were getting popped. I'm so upset. Like
I know what you're saying. We were getting but popped. I don't think that's not what I'd define as popped.
I agree with Kish. We had 15 good minutes.
But if a team opens us up as well, like a Man City would do, then you can say we got past the park. I'm coming out again thinking they were nothing special. We were just shit.
Okay, if you drop off the sky,
all right, let's see what Kojo's got to say, because obviously we've got contrasting opinions. Kojo, what are your thoughts? Did we get popped off the park, or were we just shit?
I don't think we got popped off the park. We weren't good, and they weren't special. It was one of them ones.
Benji.
Listen, Benji, I'm going to say this right now, yeah? I'm going to say this right now. Pogba sucked. Bruno sucked. Matic sucked. Maguire sucked.
Exactly.
AWB sucked. The team sucked, apart from
Martial, Rashford, Lindelof for me, and Shaw. Sorry.
Shaw.
I thought Shaw played.
Shaw offside. Apart from that, but we were dead, man, and they didn't have to do anything special. When you talk about popped, it's like a masterclass. There was no masterclass. We were just bad, and they were there. That's what it felt like.
They were decent, yeah. They played well.
But they scored. Pogba didn't check over his shoulder, which is the first mistake. When you're near your own box and you're getting a pass to yourself, you have to know where your opponent is. Lost the ball. Our fault.
Carlo, just to add to that Pogba thing, on the play ratings, I was going sick at the head because I was saying, why has he played that ball to him? Because for me, obviously it's Pogba's fault. Don't get me wrong. But why has he played that ball to him when they're pressing us that high? He doesn't need to play that pass to him.
Well, because I feel like at that moment, like Pogba wasn't even near the ball at the situation. He ran back and he's like, look, I'm in open space, play the ball to me. And we know Pogba's ability to beat players off the ball. So I wouldn't blame De Gea for looking at him and saying, well, yeah, this guy can definitely beat this player off the dribble. And he's back to the just look, and then go. He didn't do that, though. He got the pass and he didn't even check over his shoulder. So that's on him. I don't get mad here for that. And then the other goal, I mean, I've really spoken about Maguire today. I've spoken to him for about 18 hours right now. And I don't want to get mad again. So you guys can take that away. Because at this point, I'm just going to I don't even like him in the first place. But it was all us. It was all us giving them. We gave them a point. They deserve something in the sense of they controlled the game to an extent. But they didn't do anything of merit for me to say, wow, what a performance. They were just okay. And we were just bad. And that's the difference between the two. We had the 10 minutes pro where we scored 2 goals and then we did nothing after that. So for me personally, it's just a dead performance. That's right.
Okay. Kish, to be fair, obviously I agree with what Kojo said, but we'll come to you regarding the midfield three. Let's be real. Our midfield, since Pogba and Bruno played together, have been fantastic. Our Pogba's averaged a 7, if not an 8, every game practically. Where do you think it went wrong, really? Because obviously they were so far off the pace, even Matic as well.
Yeah. I think we started off very slow, quite lethargic in the midfield. There's Pogba, again, elements of like maybe a little bit of arrogance was involved in it. I think that midfield three thought, oh, we're going to turn up today and just be able to play football and they're going to let us play football. But that wasn't the case. And Pogba soon found that out when he lost the ball. It's a stupid area to do that in. But when it pulls off, it works wonders for us, isn't it? Because he frees up space. But yeah, lethargic. I remember Matic in the second half getting absolutely skinned by Redmond as well when De Gea made that save. Maybe a little bit of, I know it shouldn't be like this because they've come back from lockdown, but an element of fatigue as well. Because look, I know they've had 3 months off, but these guys are playing 90 minutes across the space of 3 days, every 3 days basically. So it's going to take its toll. And the amount of running that Fernandes does as well. He looked a bit off the pace yesterday as well. He looked a bit tired. So I think that was the main problem. We're lucky that we had the front two, Tony and Rashford. Just they were firing basically. So they kind of pulled us through that game. But the midfield, they did look a bit tired. Maybe a little bit of arrogance creeping in. But I think they'll learn from that, man. They'll learn from that, and the next game hopefully they'll come back a lot better. And they know that they can't just expect to play football because Southampton. They basically told us yesterday, look, you're not going to play football against us. We're gonna make it hard for you.
Okay, well, obviously Southampton definitely made it hard for us. Is it a matter of fact, Benji? Do you think of course, obviously we can be critical of Man United, but sometimes you just gotta hold your hand up and say, no, they just had a game plan, and they just perfected it. And obviously the way they pressed us, it nullified our midfield completely. Because we couldn't get the ball to them. And when we did, they were just getting surrounded. Hence why Pogba got caught. Where do you think the game fell through, though, Benji? Because obviously we were so poor for large periods, like Kojo said.
I feel like you have to give credit to Southampton as well. That's where I always say there's a difference between a coach and a manager. Because the way his game plan was set out, he basically said, you know what, this is all you have to do for Man United these days. So this is all he does. Get Bruno out of the game, get Pogba out of the game, done. That's all they did. Like the way they played, they basically played a 4-2-3-1, and they did it very, very well. Went out of the ball in the possession of 4-4-2, 4-2-4, whatever. But the way they pressed us high up the pitch, I wasn't really expecting it per se. I would drop off, but it shows the amount of balls and confidence this man actually has in his team to do that. And I feel like he's not come out of enough credit from that performance yesterday. It was a world-class tactical performance. We got outdone tactically, and I feel like the way he played, like when they never had the ball, everyone came. So it's like Pogba and Bruno were basically suffocated. So they made us use Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. Brilliant game plan. So then what should have happened? We should have reacted, but we didn't react quick enough. So when you play Man United, nowadays, everyone's going to know, give it to the fullbacks and just shut off the middle. What's going to happen? Nothing.
We'll score 2 in it. That's what will happen.
Yeah. We'll slap them about for 25 minutes.
Nah, we didn't. Look, they popped
Listen, that 20 minute spell was devastating, right?
Yeah, it was. But after that...
No, obviously you make a good point in terms of. I think my concern is the fact that it gives a blueprint to other teams on how to play against us. But in saying that, are we all reacting? Was it just a bad day at the office? Because I think there are different factors. Not only the fact that they pressed us so well, but the fact that we're so fatigued. And this is what I wanted to ask you before we go into the second half of the game, and obviously rip into some of the other players. But just wanted to talk about fatigue. What are we going to do for the Palace game? I haven't got a clue because at the end of the day, we saw the drop off again. McTominay and Fred just poor, just really poor. Kojo, will come to you first, then we'll go to Kish. Like, what are we gonna do for the Palace game? Because it looks like it needs to rotate. Everyone's knackered, aren't they? Really.
You need to prioritize this Palace game over the FA Cup game. It's that simple. I would go with the same 11 for the Palace game. Make the substitutes a bit later in the middle of the park. because Palace at home are not going to play to nullify those two. They're going to play to get the ball to Zaha. So it's going to be a Zaha versus AWB problem. That's what it's going to be about. And AWB has been able to shut down many good threats going forward. So I think that's where we have to prioritize that. I know the FA Cup, it'll be nice to win a trophy. It'll be nice to beat Chelsea again, but I'm not gonna lie to you right now. As much, and I do actually like the FA Cup, but we need to prioritize the league. Get the top 4, get Champions League is far above winning an FA Cup, because winning FA Cup wins you an FA Cup. And yes, if you win FA Cup, you get into Europe. But guess what? It's Europa League. We're there anyway at this point. So it's just about climbing higher to get to another level. Focus on this, and then when the season's done, you can focus on the Europa League and try and get that as a trophy. So as for fatigue, rest these guys. I wouldn't even train them until like maybe the last day before a light session, get the blood flowing, and then of course we brief them, blah blah. Get into this game, try and get as many goals as possible before you take these guys off, and then we go from there. Because like Tomine and Fred coming on, I mean, I know what they came on for. It made sense, but you shouldn't have to do that at that situation, because we should have closed the game off a long time ago anyway. And it's not like we didn't have chances to do so. Martial had 1 or 2 chances. Rashford also as well. So we had the chances to do so, and we didn't do it, and that's our fault. That's on us. So you need to be a bit more ruthless, because we've been ruthless in the other games. So turn up again, because we need those 9 points. So Fred and McTominay know their roles, but their roles are to just see the game out. They couldn't do that. Get more goals, and then they'll do it again, and they'll be fine. And then in the FA Cup, Igalo, DJ, all those guys can come in and do their...
Lingard, Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira, who? Sorry.
Listen, Brazilian Kaka, man. Come on, you guys need to respect these ballers, man.
Listen, I want James Garner, man.
Oh God! Honest to God, I agree with regarding the FA Cup thing. Of course, we will touch upon that on Friday in a bit more detail. But I do agree we do need to prioritize the game on Thursday. I just want to touch upon regarding the substitutions. Obviously, I've spoken about fatigue, and any sane human being would rotate this team. It's quite evident, especially in the second half. Hence the lackluster performance, that they're dead on their feet. Kish, do you think Ollie trusts his team enough to rotate the team?
I think in some areas, yeah. So depending on how they're feeling, I mean, look, you could take Greenwood out of the game. You could put James up there and still have Martial and Rashford up front. That would still be a dangerous front three against Crystal Palace. Maybe keep Greenwood a rest. He's still quite young. I think also I would be reluctant to change all 3 midfielders. For safety, I'd want to keep maybe one of them or 2 of them in there. So maybe have like a Bruno, Pogba, and a McTominay or something like that. So you could potentially rest Matic, who is the oldest one out of all of them. But, I mean, I'm guessing he's probably most likely to be fatigued out of the 2. So yeah, there are slight changes you can make if it's necessary. But I think if all the players are ready and fit and raring to go, then they should play. But if there are kind of little issues that the players have, then yeah, I mean, a couple of such subtle changes, I don't think will make a big difference to the philosophy and how we play and stuff like that. So you can even get buy-in there as well. Give one of them 2 a rest. Get buy-in there.
Interesting. Obviously, you said maybe like potentially 2-3 changes. I suppose I do agree there's an opportunity to rotate against the Palace game, but Benji, do you think it's as easy as saying, obviously rotate the team in terms of McTominay for Matic? You're looking at me like you're gonna kill me. McTominay for Matic, but is he capable? Like, because you've seen when he's come on and when Fred has come on, although they've been fantastic prior, not only the drop off is massive, but they're not offering anything. Because even like yesterday, I just felt like the substitutions were the right subs, but they just hung Ollie out to dry because it offered nothing. What were your thoughts on the subs? And obviously, there's just a second half performance in general.
The subs, 2 things about the subs. Number one, if Mourinho done that, you would have put him on a witch hunt. 3 defensive midfielders. Fred playing number 10. What a joke. I just think The funny thing is, because I was arguing with a bunch of friends earlier, and that obviously Oli has tactics or whatever. But my point of view is, before lockdown, we didn't need Pogba. We were all of a sudden this fantastic team because Bruno came in. Fred and McTominay played yesterday. Didn't do anything, and that has to come down to their hunger. I'm not gonna say Oli.
I was about to say, if you say Oli, then I'm gonna hang up.
No. It's their hunger, because I feel like they need to understand that if you don't take your chance in these games, you're not gonna play for Manchester United. And it's one of those things where it's like we lost to Sheik at Chelsea. We'll just get better players in, and you'll be like a Cleberson, you'll be like a Ji-Sung Park. These type of players that they're there, but you're not gonna start every game. And I also feel like Oli made a mistake with the substitutions. I always say, look, you should bring on Matter. Fair enough, the Matter's not the fastest or the quickest, whatever, but to have 3 DMs at home to Southampton, it's not acceptable. And like I said, if Mourinho had done that, we'll be coming out with pitchforks and everything.
Benji, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
I need to understand, because, in my opinion, if I'm being honest, even when they came on, they didn't. So I'm saying Southampton really didn't do anything. Obviously, we conceded the corner, which is stupid, because then it's what Prowse does his thing. But do you think they actually did anything bad, really? Like,
no, do you know what
also bear in mind, Rotterdam went out to 10 men when Finn got injured as well. So Mattis back.
You know what it is, Kojo? You know football. You play football. That when you have a midfield or when you have a team, if there's certain players that do certain things in natural instinct, but McTominay and Fred are natural DMs. They're gonna always want to sit back. So if we're trying to go up the other way, we're trying to attack, because at the end of the day, it's a counter attack. If we're trying to go on a counter attack, there's no more Pogba, Bruno, and the front 3 flying forward. It's just 3 flying forward. Matic is not going to no overlaps, but Masaka is not going to attack. So what that eventually does is you start dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah. Whoever's in your midfield controls the way the game goes. If you have defensive midfielders, you're going to sit. Mourinho used to have Cambiasso and Thiago Motta. They're not going to be running up and doing 3 balls and that. No way. So what he should have done is take off one of them, let the other one stay. Okay. When you take off one of them, if anything, the next game, just rest them. Because when you take both of them off, you've seen it. When you take before lockdown, people are moving as if we're playing the greatest football. No, we bloody well was not. We wasn't playing good football. We were just, Bruno was just doing brilliant and Martial was doing brilliant. Now all of a sudden, Pogba and Finger in, we're playing fantastic football. You have to keep one of them in the side, because it's about keeping the continuity. Because if you give Tomlin the ball, go on.
Sorry, one more. Just add to your question. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But before those guys came on, can you tell me if the guys before those guys were on, so those 3, did they do anything different? Because I thought we were still sitting back anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's the thing. They were at least trying. That's the thing. They at least try. You see these brothers that come on, what are they doing?
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Can I just say something as well? Yeah. So look, you got to look at the stages of the game, right? So when we had our 3 in the middle, our usual 3, Pogba, Fernandes, and Matic, we were 1-0 down, right? We were 1-0 down at that point. So those 3 midfielders, they had a role to play, and it wasn't a defensive role, right? In the 63rd minute, I said earlier that I think that substitution was too early. Pogba should have remained until maybe the 70th to the 75 minutes, but he brought Fred on. But Fred's role when he came on was not, obviously, it was, you could see it on the telly. You could see that his role was not to, until he got put into that number 10, his role was to just shore things up alongside McTominay and make everything solid. Maybe that is where you can place the match. So yeah. And maybe that is where you can kind of place a bit of the blame on Oli in that sense. And you know I'm an Oli in man, but in that sense, that's what I thought he made a slight error basically. So in regards to what Benji said about putting Matter on, that might have been clever. But I think for the next game, if you're changing one of them, it's in the grand scheme of things, how bad is that? And why one of them, I just mean Matic, really. You have to keep Bruno and Pogba in there. They're our main attacking sources in midfield. Matic, you can take him out. McTominay will do a role. 100% he will do a role, man. He's done a role for us before. And I'll tell you something else as well. It's not good. I'm not condoning this, but Fred and McTominay, especially Fred, he seems like a player where he needs about 3-4 games to get going.
Definitely.
Maybe a bit more in it. It's not a good thing. I'm not condoning in it. We don't need that kind of player in it. But for the now, you've got to be realistic and think to yourself, once he gets game time, he does improve. He's not terrible, is he?
Yeah.
I agree with him, you know.
All right, Benji, let me just add one thing before you go on. There's a couple of things you said. First, regarding the player's mindset. So obviously you referred to they had a defensive mindset. I completely agree with that. That was like fully spot on, and you are right in that sense. But you guys keep saying that the substitution is wrong. The Pogba one, if you actually look at Pogba's body language, he's absolutely knackered. It's quite clear that he needed to come off. He was dead on his feet. Like you can tell, he was literally blowing for 5-6 minutes. You can granted maybe 5 more minutes, but in my head, and I think a lot of people are judging the substitutions on in hindsight. When Fred came on, right, Gary Neville even said it. That's the right choice. Gary Neville said he needs to do that because Pogba's getting overrun. He's tired, and we need to shore you up in the middle of the park. Bruno was still on the pitch at that point. So Fred, and what I was expecting was Fred to break the play and just pass the ball to Bruno through the lines. That's all you have to do. He didn't have to come on be Kante. Just the simple shit that what he's known for. So I didn't have an issue with that substitution. He took Bruno off on the 85th minute to bring the DM on again. I agree with what you're saying. It meant that it basically invited pressure. Yeah. But you're telling me these mans can't hold on for 5-6 minutes without Bruno on the pitch. At the end of the day, I honest to God, I genuinely know what you're saying, and I do agree with it. But Sir Alex Ferguson's done that on so many occasions that you think, you know what? We haven't got enough going forward. We don't look like we're going to score because we didn't look like we were going to score because we were poor. He's like, you know what? Let's bite the bullet. Let's just hold it out. So I can see why he's done it. And I feel like people
are unlucky as well, man.
Because if it worked, everyone would be saying, no, what? He's done really well there. He showed it up. Because they scored from a bloody corner. It's not like they opened us up.
That injury was the worst thing. When I said to my mate, I watched it with a mate yesterday, and when Williams got injured, I thought, this is going to mess things up now. Because I don't know where they get this extra time from as well. They start, it's like 10 minutes.
No, it's because of the injury. No, it was legit. It was legit because he was down for 3 minutes and it was the 90th minute that I got injured. So obviously that added that 3 minutes on, which the time was right.
100, I think. But
I don't know. I'm not going to make any excuses regarding the time. We can't put any blame on anybody else apart from myself. So we threw the game. The referee didn't cost us the game. Obviously, my man had a head injury. He has to go off. Let's talk about the second goal because obviously, that's the goal that our rival fans celebrate like it's a World Cup winner. Kojo, will come to you first, man. I know we spoke on your fan cam briefly. I have since seen the goals after you mentioned it to me, but I'll let you tell me first.
His face.
Do you want to talk us through the equaliser? What are your thoughts on the goal, how it came about, who's responsible, that kind of thing?
Okay. I feel sick doing this. This is going to make me mad. Okay. So I've been saying for a long time now that United fans need to be a lot more worried about Harry Maguire than Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof doesn't get beaten on his feet, but he does get beaten in the end. He has to improve on that. However, with Maguire, he gets beaten in every aspect of the game, and it's becoming disturbing at this point. Ole has obviously asked the team in those sort of set pieces to do a mix of man marking and zone marking. No problem. So AWB has, I think, Jack Stevens or Bednarek, one of the two, and he has him on lock. He's goal side, number one. He is in control, number two, and for some reason, Harry Maguire decides to now get involved with him, ball watching and running in towards him and grabs him, and I generally think I can't comprehend what goes through your mind to do such a thing in such a situation. If he stayed in this area, he clears it. That's it. It's done. People are telling me, but Lindelof should have been goal side. It shouldn't have got there in the first place. I don't understand what the hell he was thinking in that situation. It's not his fault. He's worth £80 million. It's not his fault, but really, really, truly, yeah. If you pay £80 million for a player, what do you expect to do at the very, very least at their job? Do it well. Do it well. I'm gonna close here and then
Real Madrid bought just to make you feel a bit happy, innit? Real Madrid bought Ronaldo for the same price, you know.
I don't know.
So you know, Maguire, Ronaldo, same thing, innit? Same difference, innit? Benji will come to you. So I think Kojo thinks it's Maguire's, but I'm not sure what you thought from that.
I think it's Oli larger. You know what it is? I think it's the Gay's fault, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. I think
what?
This look, you have to understand. This guy does never command his box, man. You're looking for a keeper to come out and control the box. Like, think about it. I saw who was it? Henderson, his younger junior, against Chelsea. Last minute of the game, the ball goes in the air. Keeper comes and catches it. The guy is just there, sticking out an arm, sticking out a leg. Like, he's part of the problem. The second part of the problem is Maguire. I don't know why you're pushing Wan-Bissaka on the floor. Can't you feel his material? It feels the same as yours. Like, what are you doing? And then obviously Lindelof as well. He should have been goal side, but I don't really blame him because that's that second, third phase of plays. I don't really blame him. But Zola Marco was very poor, and I feel like what they've done is a smart move. They made sure they bypassed Maguire, and then that's how they got their goal. So it's tactics down for the manager of Southampton again.
No. I'm not having that. It wasn't no tactical masterclass from their manager. It was a good bit about word pass. Listen, if you look at the still picture,
they tried to bypass Maguire.
No. Look at the still picture.
It was a good old fashioned swing it in a box.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a good delivery, a good flick on.
They had corners beforehand, and we got all of them.
They didn't have a single shot.
That was utter stupidity. That's what it was. Chambolic.
But why are you blaming Maguire, though? I don't understand.
What? Did you not see what he did?
Listen, boys, right? I agree and disagree with Benji on some sort of scale, right? First of all, I agree 150%. De Gea does not command his box.
Yeah, I think
he
we all
needs to
agree
be
with
able to do that before. He has to do that. Like it's imperative that he does that, but he bloody doesn't, right? Secondly, I think it's a bit harsh blaming De Gea for that one, because if you actually look, I'm a keeper by trade myself as well, right? But if you actually look, so I'm going to back the keepers as much as I can. But I told you straight, De Gea does not command his box. That's one thing I hate about him. He's a proper, he's a flaky guy.
In your line, isn't it?
Anyway, so that ball actually ended up maybe 2-3 yards outside his front post. Right. So it wasn't a nice area for him to maybe come and get that. On other occasions, if I feel that he could have come to get things, which I do on a lot of occasions with De Gea, there are so many times where he could get us out of trouble by just coming to the edge of his box, but he doesn't do that. But yesterday, I don't think that was his fault. Harry Maguire's fault, yeah, definitely. What was he marking Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well, wasn't he? Yeah,
it was just calamitous, man. It was an absolute shambles. I agree that with the De Gea point, I think we all agree on that, anyways. But it was too far out. I just think, what I will say is right. I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, but the person that was winning most of the headers from the corners was Pogba. On the near post, I think he was stood next to Bruno and Martial. Them three on the front post. They must have worked on something, because them three were always on the front post for some reason. Pogba was just winning everything.
Love the flick on, that's why.
Yeah, exactly, that flick on. So Oli, actually, if you actually look at the still, it's exactly the same as what we did with every single other corner, and we nullified it. So we did something right, but honest to God, I'm making any excuses, but it has to be down to lack of concentration and just tired legs, because that it's just a random flick on, and it's individual mistakes. Of course, Maguire was at fault. Matic gets out jumped. There's a picture of Rashford actually who doesn't jump, and he's level with the guy that wins the header. So Rashford, even if he just jumped into him and not won it, he could have put him off potentially. I don't know why he didn't jump, obviously, but we don't know. So it wasn't just Maguire. Maguire obviously at fault because of the Wan-Bissaka thing, obviously Lindelof, etc. But there's other people that are responsible as well. Obviously Pogba wasn't there to cover it. But just lastly, of course, we're all disappointed about the drop of 2 points. I wanted to talk about the top four race to finish off, because of course, we went into this game thinking we win this game and top four is ours. Let's be real, because it would have meant Leicester had to win Sheffield United and Spurs, realistically speaking, to stand a chance. Obviously, they can still get away with drawing one potential now results. Kish, we'll come to you first. What you thinking now? Are you still confident that we'll get it? It's Kish there. I think it's crashed. Hello? Kojo, we'll come to you first then while he's getting his signal back. What do you reckon? Are you still confident we'll get top 4?
Yeah. I feel like we will get top 4. I feel like Chelsea and Leicester are still too inconsistent, or at least they're more inconsistent than us. I feel like we'll win the next 2 games. The Leicester game, I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't sure about that one.
Yeah.
I feel like we will get wins in the other 2. And Leicester will drop points again. That Bournemouth loss, I still can't believe how bad that was.
4-1.
Absolutely shocking. And Chelsea, you don't know which Chelsea's going to turn up in which week. Now that's Lampard. At this point, he's frustrated. He's complaining every 2 weeks. So, I still feel confident. But if we drop points against Palace, we are in big trouble.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Obviously, every game is a must-win. Benji, will come to you. Or what are your thoughts? Are you still confident we'll get top 4? Or do you think this has kind of hindered us too much?
I'm still confident, of course, but I just think I'm just gonna take one game at a time.
Yeah,
I'm not putting my heart and soul into this anymore. I just feel like, I don't want to have another year of hurt. I think we could do it.
Oh, you have hurt, man.
Yeah,
Damn,
I think we could
that.
do it, but I just feel like I feel like we could do it, but I feel like we need to stop relying on other teams, man. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at the end of the day, at the start of the season, we should have easily been in the top 4 anyway. But it's like, we shouldn't be relying. I don't like all this as it stands. If Man United win 3 points, every time I speak to Man United fans, Leicester can beat Sheffield Wednesday. Leicester might go win 3 games in a row. You never know.
It's Sheffield United, bro, for like the 10th time.
Oh, Sheffield! Sorry.
He keeps doing this.
Yo, you don't ever come Sheffield. These mans are gonna be after you.
Sorry. I keep forgetting. Sorry, but
it's calm.
We keep relying on. Imagine Leicester win every one of their games. What next? No top 4.
Well, they have to beat us.
They'd have to beat us, wouldn't they, on the last day?
Yeah, so. It's possible. So we just need to focus, man. I'm fed up, but we just need to focus.
Yeah, I definitely can echo that sentiment. I think this was it's still in our own hands, of course it is, because we're only 3 behind Leicester, and if we beat them on the last day, then of course we overtake them. But I completely agree. I don't like the fact that I'm having to look at Chelsea. Obviously, I would be looking at Chelsea's results anyways, but I don't like the fact that I have to look at their results. We should just be in a situation that we control our own destiny. Akish, I'm not sure if you can hear us, but what are your thoughts on top 4? Are you still confident? I think he's disconnected.
When you're Ollie in, that's happens to your wife.
All right, I'll give you my thoughts, and hopefully Kish can obviously reconnect. But I'm going through my opinions. I personally think Leicester aren't going to beat Sheffield United, and that's not me being biased, because obviously I know Sheffield United well, etc. But how can you lose 4-1 to Bournemouth, man? That is just. They haven't got any. They've only got one of their back 4 as well, which is Evans. The other guys are all. One's injured, two are injured, one suspended. Okay, should disconnect this. Yeah, so obviously, like I said, they haven't got any stability at the back. Obviously, it doesn't look like Maddison's going to be fit for that game either. For me personally, I can't see them winning both their games. Of course, they've still got us to play, so things can change. So in terms of top 4, I am still very much confident. But I don't think Chelsea are going to drop points. We're going to have to rely on Leicester for me to drop points. I think Kish is joining back. I don't know if you can hear us. Kish, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, okay. We were just talking about top 4. Are you still confident that we'll be able to make it?
One game at a time. I think we've got to remember as well, if it all doesn't go to plan in the Premier League, we still have got the Europa League to get into the Champions League as well. So, but one game at a time, man. If we beat Crystal Palace, I think I'll be a little bit more confident that we'll go and win our next 2 games. But this next game's crucial, man, absolutely crucial. But we've got 2 streams to get into the Champions League right now. So hopefully one of them plays it.
Yeah. I don't trust the Europa League at all. I've got to be honest.
But it's an option, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely an option, but I just don't like the fact it's one game, man. I don't like that at all. Because a lot of the teams, well, with all due respect, Oli can do as much homework as he possibly wants, but what is he going to know about Copenhagen and Istanbul? They're going to know way more about us. Do you know what I mean? It's like, like Southampton, for example. Obviously, they know more about us. Well, I suppose we're in the same league. It's easier to do research on them. But let's be real. There's going to be so many teams who play in Europa League that know way more about us than we do about them, and like their hidden threats, etc. So we have to be careful. Anything could happen on the day, man. We just what are the odds of all three of our midfielders not turning up on one day, man? It's just
don't sleep on Igalo, man. Don't sleep on Igalo, man.
We can't sleep on the Nigerian king.
But he'll go win that Europa League by himself, man.
If he does, man, the best team in Nigeria, man, or whatever to do to recognize greatness. Anyways, boys, that is the end of your podcast. As always, show the boys some love in the description. Drop a like, subscribe. Thank you very much for your time, lads. And we'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully, with a bit of positivity after the Palace game. Anyways, Go United! Go on!
Come on.